Hello everyone, and welcome to Autocrat. This week we are doing a bonus episode, which is number 19, and it is one of our other news segment, where we will be talking about what's going on roughly at the same time as where we are in our story, roughly.
Yep.
So today we'll be looking at Egypt in 753 BCE.
Yep. We last checked in with ancient Egypt at around the time of the Trojan War, with a bit of a cameo in our bonus episode on David and Solomon. So let's see what's going on now that we finally founded Rome.
Yay!
It exists. Wow. So to begin with, Egypt is currently divided between the 22nd and 23rd dynasties. Dynasty 22 is also called the Libyan or Bubastite dynasty and is based in the city of Tanis. This is a city in Lower Egypt, closer to the coast.
Right, nice. And where is Dynasty 23 based then?
They're in Leontopolis.
Where is that?
It's a bit lower down, judging by the map on Wikipedia, but is in the Nile Delta, so not that far away. I just mainly like saying Leontopolis.
Right. So, we're starting with Dynasty 22, I suppose.
Yeah, let's talk about them for a moment. The founder of this dynasty was Sheshonq I, spelled Shesonq.
Okay, sure.
I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but I'm going to go with it. He ruled between 945 and 923 BCE, so about 2 centuries ago. When he was pharaoh, Egypt only had one royal house, not two. We talked about him in the context of the pharaoh mentioned in the Book of Kings in our bonus episode on the House of David, as one of the possible pharaohs behind the identity of someone mentioned in the Old Testament. So a book we have on the reigns of the pharaohs of Egypt also mentions the defeat Israel and Judah suffered at his hands and places it in 925 BCE. Anyway, Sheshonq dies.
Yes, most people do.
Yes, most people do. His son was Osorkon I, Osorkon. Again, don't know if I'm pronouncing these correctly. Now, annoyingly, there is also an Osorkon the Elder, who was the uncle of Sheshonq I, but doesn't get the regnal number. So we have an Osorkon the Elder and then Osorkon I. It's infuriating. Osorkon I had 2 sons we need to talk about, namely Sheshonq II and Takalot I. Osorkon I, their father, took the role of chief priest of Amun, which was based in Karnak, away from his brother Iuput, I'm loving these names, and gave it to his elder son Sheshonq during his reign. In 890 BCE, he also made his son a co-ruler.
That always goes so well.
It always goes well, and is a trend we're actually going to see in the Roman Empire a few centuries from now.
Which will also very go well.
Yes, and we might even see it quite a bit earlier than that as a little spoiler for you, or a little teaser.
Ooh.
However, Sheshonq II died before his father, so didn't get the chance to cause any trouble, I'm guessing. So, the successor to the throne was Takalot I, Osorkon's younger son. It was during his rule of 15 years that Egypt began splintering again, and we don't know much about it. Takalot was succeeded by Osorkon II, his son, in 874 BCE. However, Osorkon also had a cousin to worry about. This was Harsiese, the son of Sheshonq II, who died before his dad did. In 870, Harsiese declared himself king in the south of Egypt. Now, Harsiese eventually died and the threat subsided. Osorkon then strengthened his position by making his own son Nimlot high priest in Karnak. Another son, called Sheshonq, revolutionary I know, was given the role of high priest to Ptah, which was based in Memphis. And no, this isn't Memphis in Tennessee.
I didn't even know Memphis was in Tennessee.
Okay, well, it's not that Memphis.
Okay.
Get that image in your head to familiarise yourself with it, and then get it right back out again. This is a different Memphis.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, this meant Osorkon had the 2 religious power bases in the grasp of his family. During his reign, they had to align with their old foes in the Near East to fight a mutual enemy in the form of the rising Assyrian Empire. Osorkon II was then followed by his son Takalot II in 850 BCE. He strengthened the alliance with his half-brother Nimlot by marrying Takalot's daughter, Karamama II. And yes, this is an uncle-niece marriage.
Yuck.
Yeah. In year 11, so in 839, Nimlot died. This created problems as there was a debate as to who the new high priest should be. Takalot II wanted to put his own son in charge. Have a guess what that son's name is. Let's spin the wheel of dynasty names.
Could be Osorkon, could be Sheshonq, could be Camelot.
Camelot? This isn't King Arthur.
Which one is it?
It's Osorkon.
Of course.
He wanted to put him in charge. However, there was a rebellion which had to be put down.
There's always a rebellion.
Yeah, well this time civil war came again in the form of a decade-long revolt beginning in 835. Takalot II then died and his son Osorkon should have taken power. However, his younger brother seized the throne.
Of course he does.
Don't worry though, he's called Sheshonq III, in case you were worried that we were going to diverge from the names here.
I was so worried about that.
Yeah. It's like how on After Alexander, we get the first person not called Seleucus or Antiochus in about 5 generations, and he changes his name to Seleucus III.
Because that's a cool name.
Yeah, perish the thought of originality. I should say, at this point, Wikipedia's family tree differs a lot from the source I've been using on this family, so it's all quite nebulous. For instance, Wikipedia says this Karamama we mentioned was Takalot's sister and the mother of his heir. However, the book we've got is from 2006, so what I'm saying here might just be a snapshot of what scholars used to believe. Either way, we're having fun. Anyway, moving on. Sheshonq III reigned for 53 years between 825 and 773 BCE.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah. During his rule, in 818, the 23rd dynasty started because a rebel king broke away. This dynasty also starts calling its kings Osorkon and Sheshonq, so it's confusing. Now, we've reached 753 BCE. We have Sheshonq V in charge of Dynasty 22.
Yeah.
He's been in power for about 14 years at this time. Dynasty 23 has Yuput, which is notably the name of that prince we talked about a little while ago. He came to power in 754, so the year that we said Numitor was put back on the throne of Alba Longa, and the year before Romulus and Remus had that deadly fight about birds.
Basically, we've got Egypt that is kind of split in two, with civil war and intrigue and politics right around the time when Rome is founded.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to show you the level of chaos we get to, we eventually get to Shoshenq VII, so we get carnage. In my notes I put 755 BCE, I think that's right, because there's 2 rival dynasties, but the point is, it's messy.
Clearly.
So, that's what Egypt looks like when Rome is supposedly founded according to its mythology.
That's very cool.
Now, I have plans.
You do?
Next time, we're going to look at what China looked like in 753. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't do this for the whole world, I have to say, so it's only these 2 that I have these snapshots for.
Yeah, well, if you guys want to see any other places, just let us know. We can do research.
Yeah, I can attempt it. If there is no information I can find, you will either hear a 2-second episode or there won't be one. But once that's done, we're planning to go back to the main narrative with episode 101, which still feels bizarre that we're on triple figures.
Yeah.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of today's episode, so thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed it, and have a great week, everyone.
Yeah, see you next time.